Here we are braving the elements outside a game for the sake of a lens. Yes, the Zeiss 55mm f1.8. I've been excited about this lens for a while. I've been excited about it for years, in fact, as sort of a walk-around lens. Now, on an APS-C sensor, that takes you out quite a bit further. But traditionally, photographers think 50mm when they think walk-around lenses. It's changed a little bit. The advent of vlogging and things like that have sort of changed that number. They've made that number wider because you've got, of course, APS-C shooters that are sort of in the 20s as far as the focal range, all the way to 35. 35 is very popular now as a walk-around lens. The 50 hasn't been getting as much love, but I tell you, some of the stuff I've seen out of this 50, pretty incredible, actually. Popular YouTuber and wedding photographer Taylor Jackson here in Canada did a video about this lens where he shoots an entire wedding with it. So that was pretty impressive. Probably a testament more to Taylor's skills over the lens, but you know, a good lens doesn't hurt, certainly, and his images look great. Anyway, let's see how this goes.
I'm reinventing myself. I'm me and nobody else. Ooh, I can't help but smile.
Hey there everybody, and welcome to another one of these things. The Nifty 50 was long considered the ideal walk-around prime, giving you roughly what your eyes see. Personally, on full frame, I've always been a fan of 35s for walking around, but before becoming a mirrorless shooter, I'd almost always have a 50mm on my camera. Nowadays, appreciating more so the compression at slightly longer focal lengths, I'm going back to a 50. In today's case, a Nifty 55 to be more accurate. I want to talk to you about a lens that is as relevant today as it was during its release. I just noticed this is a concave lens element, not convex like I'm used to. Wow, this is the first convex lens I've ever owned. Anyway, this was released in November 2013. It's the full-frame Zeiss Sonnar T55mm f1.8. When this came out 12 years ago, it had very little company in this focal range. Many opted for Sony's other, far less expensive 50mm, which unfortunately suffered from some quality issues. By the way, for those interested in that lens and what is among one of the most affordable fast native primes, it's still worth a look. Just do your best to find a good copy and install the latest firmware updates. I encourage you to check out Stuart Padley's video on the subject. I love that guy's videos. Sony's less travel-friendly choice back then was the far more expensive and heavy Zeiss Otis f1.4, released alongside the Sonnar. In 2016 came the Zeiss Planar and later the GMs, all big, heavy, and expensive. Now we have an insane number of choices when it comes to this focal length. So what makes this a compelling choice today? There's value in this lens simply because it's been around so long. You'll find excellent used copies out there for a third of its $1,000 USD, $1,250 Canadian price new. You might also want to look at refurbs on Amazon, which can save you like 500 bucks. I paid $400 Canadian for my copy from a local photographer here in Toronto. It's just like it came out of the box. This little blue logo here, Zeiss, usually means you can expect a certain level of build quality, and this lens is no exception. A thing of beauty for the minimalist with only a focus ring and the venerable blue Zeiss logo. It's all metal. I know a lot of you out there are fans of all metal construction, but I actually prefer the plastic composites. They're tough, light, and they're the same color all the way through if you happen to scratch them. Warning, this lens does scratch very easy. Okay, pro tip, let me take a departure here for those of you who've scratched your metal lenses. This is the paint that I've been using for years to touch up my lenses. It's the closest thing you'll find to what's on your lens from the factory. Trust me, I'm a YouTuber. This is from Japanese hobby company Tamiya. It's their LP5 semi-gloss black paint. LP is their code for lacquer paint, and that's what you want. Provided you keep the lid screwed on tight, this 10 milliliter jar will touch up lenses for years to come, unless you're some kind of Neanderthal savage banging your lenses on everything. Okie dokie, back to our lens. The T-star means we have the proprietary Zeiss anti-reflective coating. The optical formula includes 7 elements in 5 groups, 3 of which are aspherical. Aberrations are reduced to nothing offensive, but they do exist. Just in my opinion, everything looks pretty good. Nothing that you can't fix later. We have a 9 rounded blade aperture, which will help with those bokeh balls. Sony says this lens is moisture resistant, although there is no weather sealing gasket at the lens mount to speak of. So is it really moisture resistant? Because of that all metal construction, still weighs 281 grams. Certainly light enough for travel. It's only less than 3 inches long as well, so excellent for travel actually. This at an ultra wide has me covered for 95% of the stuff that I shoot traveling. I also keep a 70-300 handy, like for usually wildlife stuff. Whenever we're somewhere I know that I'll need the reach. All 3 lenses fit into my messenger bag, which is like basically my gold standard for lenses to carry around. This lens accepts a wee little 49mm filter, which is amazing. Performance. The autofocus motor in this is of the linear variety and it's quick. Just make sure you're running the latest firmware. I had absolutely no issues whatsoever focus tracking with my A7C II while shooting video as well as photographing fast-moving action. AF performance will of course be impacted greatly by the camera you have. Luckily, when it comes to Sony, you can expect good to excellent AF performance regardless. So there you go. For the video shooters out there, beware, this lens exhibits massive focus breathing, so maybe not such a great lens for video people. I don't know. I don't do a lot of focus racking stuff anyway myself. And if you aren't a gimbal person, it also lacks in-body image stabilization. This lens, yes, has no OSS. It's sharp. Oh yes, it does get slightly softer in the corners, wide open at f1.8, but I will confirm the DxO Mark scores are for real. They rated this very highly. As I mentioned, chromatic aberrations do exist, nothing crazy, and what little appears can be corrected easily in post anyways. Bokeh, those desirable out of focus backgrounds are pleasing. In my opinion, that rounded 9-blade aperture goes some way in making those bokeh balls round. For APS-C shooters looking at this as a portrait lens over perhaps the 56mm f1.4 from Sigma, I would probably say don't. You can get deals on those used even, but that Sigma, you'll do better on an APS-C camera with that f1.4. It goes a long way in recouping anything you might be sacrificing with a smaller sensor. If you are really serious about portraits with your APS-C camera and don't mind lugging around a lot more weight, I highly recommend the Viltrox Pro 75mm f1.2. I absolutely love that lens. Although I did sell it, it's a fantastic lens. Minimum focus distance, a not so impressive 1.5 feet, but that's okay. I'm not going to be doing macro photographs with this anyway. In conclusion, this is an excellent choice for those looking for something at this focal length who don't mind the focus breathing and lack of OSS. Maybe you like more physical controls, in which case it's not your lens either. Apart from it being one of the only options at one time, today it remains a popular choice for good reason. I really like it. I love it, actually. As usual, I hope you got something out of this one. If so, please consider throwing me a like or subscribing with notifications if you want to avoid missing content like this in the future. Until next time, keep working to make your chosen idea a reality. Peace.